Welcome to a 1v1 on Crossing in the Woods. It's been a while since I did a cast of Company of Heroes 2, but I am back from the dead, if you will. Hasn't actually been that long. A couple weeks. I guess that's kind of a long time for me, considering the normal frequency of my videos. Hopefully they will be much more frequent in the near future. This particular game is going to be Sebuj versus Baalthazor. We've got Sebuj playing as Soviets here in the northwest, crossing in the woods, and Baalthazor playing as Oberkommando West in the south. And the loadouts are going to be guard, motor coordination, shock rifle, counterattack against spec ops, fortifications, and breakthrough. Now, on Crossing in the Woods, I'm almost certain we're going to see fortifications, but who knows? Could surprise me. And I don't know, we could see counterattack. Counterattack has been made more powerful since the most recent patch, which is something that is interesting, I guess. I believe that for Mother Russia now no longer exhausts infantry afterwards, making it extremely powerful. Maybe we'll see that this game. This game will be a good chance to showcase some of the changes to counterattack tactics. I don't know. We do have an engagement over here on the left side. Stern Pioneers will force away that squad of combat engineers. And these various squads over here on the left, taking control of some territory, while the Soviet gets control of his cutoff and territory here in the east. We'll also see some fighting positions being constructed by these conscripts. Provide cover. And we're going to see the battle group headquarters set up here on the south half of the river, I believe. No, he's just moving it around. Changed his mind. But we'll probably see a battle group headquarters there soon.
Prepare for combat.
He now has the resources for it, and it's quite typical to see that after the third squad of Volksgrenadiers hits the field. He's in a pretty safe position. He could probably set that up unharried, as his opponent is simply spreading out and capturing the map and not making any aggressive pushes towards this area. And there it goes, under construction now. Volksgrenadiers engaging these combat engineers. They will eventually win that engagement. And the conscripts here have not researched Molotovs, but they are going to move towards the left side of this house. Not a very good place to engage, honestly. There is green cover there, but the north side of this house has only one window. The west side has 4 windows, so he's actually engaging about as poorly as he could be here. If he were to group both of his conscript squads into the north area, he would be able to engage with 12 rifles against 1. What he's doing it now is currently 10 against 5, so that's not nearly as efficient as he could be. Despite not having Molotovs, once he has Molotovs, he'll be able to flush those Volksgrenadiers out of that house entirely. Combat engineers were eventually forced away by the Volksgrenadiers there. Nice cutoff maneuver here by Sebuj to cut off the Oberkommando West resources. He's already set up his battle group headquarters, so he doesn't need to worry about delaying. His tech is not delayed, but it will cut off his resources until he can send something to deal with that harassment. His conscript squad should be able to take on those Stern Pioneers, especially if they leave cover. Walking into that red cover, that's definitely not a good move. He's going to take a lot of damage here. He makes it to the yellow cover after sustaining 1 loss. His squad's now at about half health. More conscripts arriving to help in this fight will probably force a retreat or squad wipe before he can capture this territory. Ned needs to get out of there. There he goes. He did successfully decapture the point, but that only does so much. He will still be cut off from his territory, and the engagement here continues. Volksgrenadiers are keeping these conscripts at bay, but that only does so much when the entire area here is cut off. And he needs to get that restored. And now that he has completed the retreat point research, he is retreating that squad back to his battle group headquarters, and the Soviet will continue to hold the entire right side of the map.
Field promotion. Taking fire! Ready!
Volksgrenadiers.
Back up to full force. We need the flank!
Leaving holding their cover again. Try to make it to this yellow cover position. Take a ton of damage from the three conscript squads focusing them down. Stern Pioneers on the flank, moving up to try and do some damage here. They do take one loss on approach.
Point secured!
Supply half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Infantry attacking in force!
Volksgrenadiers there healing up, and these conscripts have managed to stall and delay at this cutoff for so long, but it finally gets recaptured here, restoring income to the Oberkommando West. He's currently at 60 fuel, 6 minutes into the game. It's going to give him a kind of late tier 4. He's probably going to be trying to get Obersoldaten out next, and his manpower is bleeding rather badly as well. He's still on only 3 Volksgrenadier squads, but he's only got 200 manpower in the bank because of how much these engagements are costing him, and the Soviet player has actually gone tier 2 and gotten himself a mortar. He has not chosen his commander yet. If he went guard motor, he could have gotten, by this time, a heavy mortar instead of a regular mortar. But he opted to get a standard mortar instead, so we may be seeing counterattack or shock rifle, I suspect. I don't think he would have gotten a standard mortar if he intended to go guard motor coordination, but I could be wrong. I've seen it done before where a Soviet player got a standard mortar and a heavy mortar, just to have the slightly lighter mortar and the heavier mortar for pretty much totally different things. Usually using this one to attack
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
machine guns and
gun is ready for combat.
possibly infantry and cover, whereas the heavy mortar is usually used to try to bomb a battle group headquarters and inflict lots of manpower bleed, or possibly also lucky squad wipes, or destroy the building entirely, which is more than capable of doing. We do have a demo charge here on this side of the river. Those Volksgrenadiers are getting dangerously close to it, although the Soviet player does not currently have vision, I don't think. Oh, yes, he does. Or at least he did. Volksgrenadiers will need to get a little bit closer, though. And we've also got harassment happening here on the right side. Oberkommando West player trying to break free of his box here on the left.
Ready for deployment! Aim for the fuel tank!
Mission accomplished.
Conscripts charging into close range on those Volksgrenadiers. They will be able to win this engagement and force all Oberkommando West infantry to retreat. But the Volksgrenadiers did screen for just long enough for the Schwer Panzer headquarters to be constructed here on the left side.
Receiving enemy fire! Receiving effective!
The command half-track has been
And it
converted
will
to
reveal
the
itself
headquarters
as those conscripts attempt to take the left side victory point.
Under attack!
Volksgrenadiers engaging conscripts at this range should be able to pull ahead in that engagement if no reinforcements arrive. Meanwhile, over here, a mortar hit will force a retreat from the Stern Pioneers, and the Oberkommando West is still operating on only 4 squads, 3 Volksgrenadiers and 1 Stern Pioneer. Getting a Raketenwerfer, for example, might help preemptively protect him against vehicles. We will see the tier 3s going up here, and there's probably going to be a T-70 or a T-34 on the field very soon, would be my guess.
Enemy is engaging us!
T-34 if he wants to apply pressure to the Oberkommando West structures. T-70 if he wants to apply pressure to their infantry. Grenade going out over here. Oh, there's the first squad wipe of the game. Sebuj was not quite paying close enough attention. He attempted to dodge, but he was too late. Meanwhile, over here, this is looking really scary. He's probably really regretting his demo charge placement. If he had just put it in this green cover position instead of over here, he probably could have wiped some squads by now. Another grenade going out. Ooh, hoo hoo. And there it is, gets a squad wipe. Nice mortar hit, almost gets another squad wipe. But that's 2 squads of conscripts wiped now, whereas Baalthazor has lost none, despite a huge amount of manpower lead. Has not lost any full squads. There will be a T-70 hitting the field now. That's going to apply a lot of pressure to the Volksgrenadiers and Obersoldaten that are now in production. A Raketenwerfer could help, mines could help, and of course just staying in range of the Schwer Panzer headquarters is safe haven against the T-70. But it will make it a very powerful counter-harassment tool if any Oberkommando West infantry attempt to take the right side.
Taking effective fire!
Combat unit ready.
Fire! Displace!
Oh man, that demo charge is spooky. I believe the Soviet player has vision of this area thanks to these crawlers.
Half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Yes, he does. Chose not to detonate on those Sturm Pioneers. I guess he didn't think they were quite close enough to get the wipe.
All in with the Panzerschreck!
T-70, however, is making its way over here and should be able to push away these Volksgrenadiers, but it could take a little damage from this Panzerschreck. Sturm Pioneers will immediately retreat. They should make it away. Volksgrenadiers should be next. The Obersoldaten taking the center that appear to be the next target. Needs to get those out of there. Quite clumped. Oh. Fortunately, they get away without taking any losses, miraculously. A lot of damage, though. T-70 is already up to that 1. Only 4 kills, though, unfortunately.
We are as ready as we can be.
High explosive barrage going off from the Zis gun up there.
We're taking losses!
Mortar team has arrived.
Man down!
And it looks like the conscripts are gonna win this.
We are under fire!
Probably. Meanwhile, over here, oh no, this could be disaster. This could be the lucky moment that he's been waiting for. Not quite. Obersoldaten moved away, and he's still not quite standing on the demo charge. I have to applaud Sebuj's patience, really just waiting for the perfect moment on that demo charge. Going in hard on the Obersoldaten again. They don't really have cover from any kind of anti-tank, but the T-70 looks like it's going to disengage. He could choose to wipe that. No, maybe not. Still not quite close enough. He definitely has vision. He could wipe this, however, if he doesn't retreat that. Oh, lucky shot, maybe. He needs one more. Wait, what? I have no idea why he just detonated there. That had to be a misclick, right? I don't know why he did that. There was nothing standing there at all. What a waste. He has, however, planted another demo charge. Could see a wipe on this Obersoldaten squad. Man, these squads are just skirting these demo charges so closely without even realizing it. Must be painful for the Soviet player.
Squad back to full strength. Contact! Small arms fire! Grenadiers upgraded!
That squad could get wiped here if he doesn't react soon. There it goes. Barely escapes, just barely in time. Oh, wow, he definitely could have taken out that Obersoldaten squad right there if he had chosen to detonate on the retreat. I guess he didn't think it was quite worth it. Oh wait, is that a mortar crater? I think a mortar detonated that demo charge, actually. That would make more sense. That would be unfortunate because the Soviet player's own mortar detonated his demo charge and inflicted no losses. Pretty unlucky. I think that's what happened. I don't know. I didn't see. Flamethrower going out on these Volksgrenadiers, taking a significant amount of damage. Meanwhile, as far as map control, Soviet player still has a firm hold on most of the right side. Can't seem to get these munitions firmly under his control. Lots of side engagements happening over here. tending to go towards the Soviet, from what I can tell, but the counter-harassment by these Volksgrenadiers has been just annoying enough to just keep this munitions in Oberkommando West hands, which is good because without control of at least one munitions point, it's really hard to keep up Panzerschreck production. He has only got 2 currently, and only has 15 munitions. Oh no, he's got 3. He just purchased a 3rd one, bringing him down to basically 0 munitions. Holding on to this 1 munitions point has gone a long way towards giving him the ability to keep up. And the mortar has been doing terribly, apparently. No, that's a 2nd mortar. Okay, that makes more sense. This one has 5 kills, almost a vet 2. This is a fresh mortar, hasn't done any damage yet. Let's see if he can perform nicely as well. Eastern Pioneers take a bit of damage from mortars there. We'll have to disengage. These Obersoldaten are making their way forward. And that Zis gun will definitely have to reposition. Soviets are really struggling to deal with these Oberkommando West infantry. Throws a grenade at that mortar. Wow, that was a really nice grenade. That just did huge damage. If that had been positioned even slightly differently, that could have maybe even been a wipe. I don't know. Maybe that was as good as it possibly could have been. They were kind of circled around this tree, so I guess that was the best he could hope for. Lots of damage inflicted on that mortar now. Unfortunately, he will be able to heal that because he's already purchased Field Infirmary. And finally, we do have a commander selection from Sebuj giving himself Shock Rifle. So no guard motor as suspected, just using normal mortars rather than heavy mortars, and then transitioning into IS-2s. From the look of things, I don't think he has any intention of getting a Caviator. He probably already would have. IS-2 will be able to arrive very soon. Only needs 40 more fuel, and he's just bridging the gap with this T-70 until it arrives, using it to counter-harass the right side, or at least just hovering in the area. And he may be able to pick off some of these infantry here as well at range, but there are some highly veteran Volksgrenadiers in this blob. So he definitely needs to keep his distance very carefully. The mortars are going to move up, trying to inflict a little bit of bleed. One Panzerschreck connects with T-70. Those Volksgrenadiers are quite clumped, though. Mortars also landing. But T-70 will go down to the Volksgrenadiers, and they take basically no damage at all. Obersoldaten making their way up the left side to harass these team weapons. And they will be forced to retreat. Conscripts are going to grab the victory point there on the right side.
One of our AT guns has been neutralized. Mortar ready for orders.
And after clearing out that Zis gun, those Obersoldaten will retreat. Not looking great for the Soviet, but he only needs 10 more fuel, and then his IS-2 will hit the field. The Oberkommando West doesn't really have much of a solution to an IS-2. He has gone fortifications, which means... Oh, I take that back. There's his Pak-43. I was about to say, I don't see Pak-43 anywhere, but there it is. So this position will be relatively safe from the IS-2, but the Soviet will probably be able to use it to apply pressure to the right side, possibly also the Oberkommando West headquarters, since I don't think this will be able to effectively protect the headquarters, but it will easily screen the IS-2 away from any pushes down the left side, possibly also the center. Engagement happening over here. We also have a demo charge right there on the truck. Interesting placement. Lots of interesting demo charge placement. He's not really putting them in any of the typical places that I am used to anyway. I've never seen them there. Usually demo charges, the Soviets are more towards the center of the road or this green cover position. Putting it over there is a little, I don't know. I feel like his demo charges have all been just ever so slightly off, and as a result he hasn't been able to secure any squad wipes with them yet, but if he just keeps waiting for the right moment and reacts in time, he should be able to utilize those to clear some of this infantry off the field. IS-2's already kind of struggling just against Volksgrenadiers. Didn't get any lucky bounces on its frontal armor. It's already almost down to half health. it's got only 1 kill, so not a great opening for that IS-2. He's going to have to pull it back, and if he even shows himself for a little too long here in the arc fire of that Pack 43, he's going to get a pretty nasty surprise. Meanwhile, over here on the right side, Demo Charge could turn this engagement for him if he can convince his opponent to blob right over it. Not sure it's going to happen. What's going to happen? There it is. Nicely done. He secures the squad wipe. I'm not sure these Vet 3 conscripts can beat those Vet 5 Volksgrenadiers, however, and he will simply retreat. And the mortars are kind of just hanging back. If they were to move up in a more aggressive fashion on the Pack 43, Battle Group headquarters, or even the Schwerer Panzer headquarters, maybe they could start applying a little pressure. They don't do that much damage to OKW structures in the way that the heavy mortar does, but it would still be better than nothing. And if it could prompt these Sturm Pioneers to repair, that's less time that they spend planting mines. And they are actually quite vulnerable while repairing to the mortars themselves. Repairs going up in the meantime over here on the right side on the IS-2. It's going to take a little while to get that fully repaired, but they are happening. And meanwhile, the OKW player is at 260 fuel, so he's clearly saving for a King Tiger. He's activated fuel transfer, I believe, right? Yes, he has fuel transfer on, which is why he has so few munitions. Bringing in fuel really quickly. That King Tiger is going to arrive pretty soon. The Soviet player has an IS-2, and he's got a field gun, 2 field guns, so he's prepared for it. If you were to throw some mines on the field, you'd definitely be in a pretty comfortable position to be able to take it on. But it's gonna be tough. Conscripts falling low over here to those Obersoldaten, and they'll be forced to retreat. More mines, lots of mines going down over here. But again, the IS-2 is pretty much unopposed here on the right side. But he's a little bit too late, unfortunately, to apply pressure for the Overcommando West headquarters. If he was going to destroy the headquarters to prevent the King Tiger from coming out, he had to do so several minutes ago. Pretty much as soon as the IS-2 hit the field, in fact. Now it's definitely too late, and the King Tiger will be hitting the field very soon.
Incoming! Spread out!
Obersoldaten will retreat away from that mortar. They are at Vet 2 now, so they're going to be a pretty important asset. If those were to die to a demo charge, that would be a very serious problem, giving the conscripts a much more relevant role. Those Obersoldaten could get cleared out by the IS-2 or demo charges either way. And the IS-2 is moving to apply pressure to the headquarters now. Way too late though, again. I don't think he even realizes that his opponent has fuel transfer on. It's only 23 minutes in, so he's probably thinking it's not that likely that a King Tiger is going to be here that soon, but he's wrong. There it is already. If the IS-2 can secure this wipe, however, that would be a huge play. Misses its shot. Volksgrenadiers will reposition behind the headquarters to safety, and the IS-2 will be forced to disengage. He hasn't even spotted that King Tiger yet either. Meanwhile, over here, an engagement continues. Obersoldaten are firing upon those conscripts, and they're quite low. Although I'm not sure either one of them is paying attention. Okay, there he goes. Sebuj will retreat the low health squad, reposition this squad a little farther back, and mortars are firing on this area as well. Blind, I think, because it's not really hitting anything. Flamethrower just got detonated. Loses his flamethrower, but does get to preserve the combat engineer squad, and the King Tiger will continue his advance up the right side. Sebuj has his IS-2 and a field gun here, possibly enough to combat this. Thanks for following, Mighty Noband. Also appreciated. Getting some lucky penetrations on the frontal armor of this King Tiger. It's already brought down to half. He's going to continue to engage. And it misses its shot, but the field gun will bounce its last shot, and both of them will successfully preserve their heavy tanks. It's going to take quite a while to... Oh. Thanks for following, Sebuj. I'm casting your game right now. It's going to take some time to repair both of these. IS-2 is a little bit more damaged than the King Tiger, plus Sturm Pioneers, of course, repair extremely quickly. They are Vet 3. They don't have a support upgrade, but at Vet 3 they will repair very fast. And he actually feels sufficiently comfortable at his tank's current level of health to engage here. will probably be able to clear out this field gun. There it goes. Second field gun firing at range. Shot bounces, second shot also bounces, and the King Tiger will make it to safety. Here in the center, conscripts are engaging these Sturm Pioneers. Proving to be quite lethal though. Taking out 4 of those conscripts. More conscripts, however, flooding into the center victory point to try and capture this area. And those Sturm Pioneers will be forced away. And are mortars falling in this area? I thought I heard some mortars. For some reason, this Obersoldaten squad is extremely wounded. So is this Volksgrenadier squad. I don't think so, though. The mortars are still pretty far back. If he had been just bombing this area with both of those mortars this entire time, trying to clear out the Pack 43, hit the battle group headquarters, hit wounded infantry, he could be really bleeding his opponent, I think. But unfortunately, he's just kind of been sitting them way back here, trying to keep them safe. Being very passive with them. And on the one hand, it means he won't suffer any bleeder harassment from the Obersoldaten, but on the other hand, it means he can't inflict any either, and they're just kind of taking a pop cap for no reason. Really needs to try and find a way to utilize those effectively. Whether in engagements here on the right side, or bleeding his opponent in the center and the left. Oh, here we go. Could be a wipe right here. There it is. Second demo charge, second wipe, and he will secure a Panzerschreck on his conscript squad, which happened to be in the area to recover. Nice demo charge. He waited all game to be able to secure that, and it was completely worth the wait, getting himself a Panzerschreck, and wiping out a Volksgrenadier squad, and in the process bringing the Oberkommando of West down to only 1 Volksgrenadier squad now. Having wiped 2 with Panzerschrecks, it's not really replacing his losses at all. Probably should throw out a few more Volksgrenadiers, but he's actually at 72 pop cap just because of the Pack 43 King Tiger combination. So much pop cap. So his manpower income's not even really that fast, despite having barely any infantry in his army. And rather than getting more Volksgrenadiers, he is opting for more Obersoldaten. So we'll see if he can make good use of those. Not a good position for this King Tiger to be in, taking fire from 2 field guns and an IS-2. It's taking a lot of damage here. It will be forced to disengage. Most of those shots bounce, and it looks like it's going to be able to get to safety. Sturm Pioneers here on the left are Vet 5 now, engaging the conscripts here, and they will win this. And they're going to attempt to take the center victory point under mortar fire. They'll probably be fine unless an extremely lucky mortar clears them out, or this IS-2. Although, oh, nice mortar! That was close. That was very close, but they will get away, and the IS-2 is being fired on by the last remaining Volksgrenadier squad here in the center. They take quite a bit of damage from that shot and will be forced to retreat, and the conscript squad with the stolen Panzerschreck is also available here in the center to assist in engagements. Obersoldaten protecting the left. They're pretty clumped though. That yellow cover is a very dangerous spot when your opponent is utilizing mortars and IS-2. Wow. Pretty decent mortar hits. That is a Vet 3 mortar, so I'm not really sure what the bonuses are, but it's definitely doing its job quite well, up to 21 kills now, effectively bleeding his opponent this entire game. The second mortar has basically done nothing though. It's only got 1 kill, it's just sitting here in the Soviet base. He really needs to move that to a different position. I don't know what the optimal position for it is, but it's definitely not right here. King Tiger is fully repaired thanks to the amazing super duper blowtorch power of Vet 5 Sturm Pioneers, making its way back to the front line. IS-2 also, it's a fresh IS-2 actually. 2 IS-2s is going to be a lot for that King Tiger to take on. Again, they really can't push beyond the range of the Pack 43, which is currently facing the center. They can't even really get onto this half of the river. This one is feeling a little bold. Oh no, the Soviets' own mine just damaged the IS-2's engine here. It should be able to pull back to safety thanks to the screening field guns. But that is a huge setback. It's going to completely shut down his ability to push, hitting his own mine. Because some Sturm Pioneers just happened to step on it. Uh-oh. King Tiger's getting crew shocked. We do have one field gun firing at max range, but the IS-2 is going to disengage again. Can't really cross this line, or the Pak-43 is going to just blast those IS-2s into submission. If he could try and scout this with another unit, drops some incendiary artillery on it to clear it out, clear the way for his IS-2s to push, maybe he could make something happen. But at the very least, he is maintaining control of 2 victory points. He has a significant victory point lead. He's currently up 400 to 244. Which means that the pressure is really on the Ober Commando West to try and make something happen here. Tying up a lot of his pop cap in this Pak-43 does help him to defend this victory point very easily there. He was kind of struggling in engagements for this one since the Pak-43 doesn't really reach past it. It's making it difficult for him to deal with these IS-2s. The Soviet player easily outproducing the Ober Commando West, since the OKW cannot hope to match the Soviets for heavy tank production, even with fuel transfer on, which is not, by the way. He switched to munitions transfer, bringing himself up to 300 munitions, so he's clearly going to be hoping to utilize zeroing artillery. And I could definitely see that doing quite a bit of damage here, using the King Tiger to give vision on all of these team weapons and a heavy tank. It could be a very serious problem for the Soviet. I don't know if he's planning on using that now or later. He is advancing. I think that that could be his plan here. Clears out the field gun, and he's just going to simply disengage. I guess he doesn't want to use zeroing artillery on any of these grouped weapons. None of these targets are that juicy. The Soviet player has pretty much spread his army out actually quite nicely. If both of his IS-2s were to get very close to each other, that might be a little bit more tempting. Soviet mines sprinkled across the right side, so their pioneers will detonate it. Uh-oh, that's a Vit-5 squad! Oh, they don't get hit by the IS-2 shot. Will the top-mount machine gunner be able to finish the job? One more shot, here it comes! Oh, and he misses again! Stern Pioneers around the corner. Third shot in a row, misses. He's not giving up the chase though, and for good reason. There's really nothing over here to stop him. Oh no, he's gonna pull back. I think he could have probably wiped that if he had chased a little bit more vigorously, but I guess he didn't want to hit any mines. Although I don't think I've seen any shoe mines planted at all on the right side. There's definitely a healthy amount of them over here. Lots of combat engineers being fielded to speed up repairs on those Soviet heavy tanks. Volksgrenadiers will be forced to run away. Obersoldaten also forced to retreat. That's a fresh squad, actually. This is the Vet 2 squad over here. Fresh squad of Obers. I'm not sure what they've contributed. 5 kills. They'll be Vet 1 soon, so they've seen a few engagements. Soviet player still has a very firm hold on the right side and center. Ober Commando West player struggling to make anything happen here as King Tiger slowly vetting up. If it gets to Vet 2, it's going to be a huge armor boost, which will help it to engage these heavy tanks. And don't forget that he now has 450 munitions in the bank. Zeroing artillery, I think this game could potentially be decided by zeroing artillery. It used to be bugged and not working properly, but I believe it's been fixed. So we may see that this game. Another very close call for that Volksgrenadier squad and Obersoldaten squad. That's going to go down. Wow, barely makes it away. Pak-43 takes a shot. I think it missed. King Tiger, however, does penetrate. IS-2 backs out of the Pak-43's range. Raketenwerfer firing on the other IS-2 on this King Tiger's flank. The King Tiger will hit Vet 2, but is taking so much damage here. He needs to be careful in this engagement. I'm not sure if it's going to go his way. IS-2 falls quite low again. He has neglected to drop zeroing artillery. I guess he just doesn't think any of these targets are worth it. IS-2 is actually going to dive. And the IS-2 will go down. Incendiary artillery being dropped on this Raketenwerfer could clear it out if he doesn't retreat it, but overall that engagement definitely went in the OKW player's favor. Taking out an IS-2. King Tiger falls very low, but it will survive the engagement. And Stern Pioneers on the right side hit a mine, I guess? I don't know. They took a lot of damage. They are retreating, but they They will be able to reinforce and repair this King Tiger back to full, which is a pretty significant setback for the Soviets, but at the same time, he's got 180 fuel, will be able to call in another IS-2 in the next few minutes.
This is it! Infantry attacking in force!
Lots of close calls for this Axis infantry, all of it barely managing to escape. These mortars and IS-2s just can't seem to seal the deal, though. Not as many squad wipes as you might expect. Always getting away by a hair, but the manpower bleed is its own problem. Very expensive to reinforce these over squads when they fall down to one man like that, and again, not that much infantry. Not that much infantry at all on the Overcommando West side of the map. Although a pretty decent amount of the Soviet players' pop cap is tied up in team weapons, which can only do so much. Field guns are doing a good job of chipping away at the King Tiger every time it shows itself. It means that its time on the front line is significantly reduced. It is constantly being forced to retreat and repair, and with only one Stern Pioneer squad, that is a significant problem. But now that his Vet 2 is going to be able to stay in combat for even longer, I don't think that demo charge is going to complete either. Oh, maybe it will. Okay, he saw it going down though. Probably not going to, yeah, he's going to attack ground. Lucky first shot will detonate the demo charge, very nice. Volksgrenadiers there on the left side will retreat from the IS-2, which is also Vet 2, and a fresh IS-2 has hit the field, will be able to engage this King Tiger. Tiger going in. We're now up to almost 600 munitions from Baalthazor. I think this could be it. There it is. The zeroing artillery has been dropped. IS-2s are going to attempt to drop behind the King Tiger, and it is taking so much damage, but it just phased through the IS-2. What was that? Pack 43 is firing. Will it get the final shot off? The King Tiger's down, but the IS-2 also goes down, and both players' heavy tanks are destroyed in a climactic engagement. Zeroing artillery is dropping on all of the Soviet formations back here. They're going to be forced to retreat. Everything's being wiped, but the Soviet player still has his heavy tank. The Oberkommando West does not. What is going to happen this game? Look at this artillery, it's clearing everything out. Well, we can definitely confirm that zeroing artillery has been fixed, ladies and gentlemen. It appears that it once again does its job, although it's now about to wipe this Obersoldat squad. He's clearly trying to maintain vision for his own zeroing artillery, trying to get some lucky hits on the IS-2. Unfortunately, it didn't really do all that much, and those Obersoldat risk getting wiped out here. They do round behind IS-2, forcing it to rotate its turret. It does not have a top-mount machine gun, so somehow that squad will get away alive. Grenade goes out over here. He tries to oorah out of the smoke, but he does get slowed. Doesn't matter. IS-2 is coming to force him away. We are up to 230 fuel now from the Oberkommando West. He's clearly switched back to fuel transfer, slowing his munitions income.
Taking fire!
But he will have a second King Tiger soon, and the IS-2 King Tiger production is just on a razor's edge this game. Soviet player getting a little bit too brave, diving into the Pack 43 twice, and it has cost him. Oh no, that was a huge hit. Uh-oh, he just dropped zeroing artillery. He's not going to be able to give vision this time, and I don't think that's going to hit anything. I think he got a little bit greedy dropping that before his next King Tiger arrived. He does have a crawler here giving vision, but that's only going to last so long. Doesn't look like it's really working. The crawler dies and artillery hits basically nothing. Well, good. I'm glad we got to see both examples of zeroing artillery, with vision and without. Appears to work completely as intended, so that's good news.
Taking fire!
Obersoldaten now moving up to engage here in the center. The Oberkommando West has a very distinct lack of anti-tank, but a Vet 4 and Vet 2 Obersoldaten squad will be almost all he needs to fight off combat engineers and conscripts in pretty much unlimited quantities.
Artillery batteries are armed and ready to fire.
And Baalthazor is now up to 700 manpower, 270 fuel, so the King Tiger is probably going to be in production right now, and as soon as that arrives he will have a much more beefy force with which to fight this IS-2. Meanwhile, for the Soviet player's part, he's at 80 fuel. No IS-2 is on the way for quite a while. He still has control of his fuel over here, but he's letting these victory points get harassed, and that's going to become a pretty serious problem pretty soon. He still has a big lead, 350 to 150, but he really can't let himself get triple capped like this, or that lead's going to disappear quite rapidly. Smoke grenade going out, or no, bundle grenade, excuse me, doesn't do all that much. Vet and smoke grenade going out on the other squad will force a full retreat from both of those conscript squads, but it wasn't cheap to do that. That was 75 munitions to throw both of those grenades. But he does maintain control of the center victory point while this IS-2 makes its way across to the right side. These Obersoldaten will easily be pushed away by that tank once it finds them. Wow, Pack 43 is up to Vet 5. Look at that. He really needs to decrew that with some incendiary artillery or something. He's got the munitions for it, but he doesn't have vision. And this Speer Panzer headquarters is also making it difficult for infantry to push through and give vision. Although he could probably sneak something over there across the river if he wanted to. But it looks like his attention is mostly tied up here on the right side.
Enemy Panzer!
King Tiger, reporting for combat.
King Tiger has completed and is making its way to the right side. If there was an opening for the Soviet player to attack this position, it is now closed.
King Tiger ready.
Obersoldaten trying to buy time for the King Tiger to arrive. He doesn't want to retreat them because he wants to be able to utilize them to support the King Tiger should any team weapons show up, or maybe that conscript squad with the Panzer Schreck. Looks like he may be forced to retreat though. At the same time, the dancing he's been doing with that IS-2 has resulted in it now being in an engagement with the King Tiger with its rear armor facing towards it, and it's taking so much damage on its rear armor. Oh no! A beautiful Soviet mine, however, will buy the IS-2 all the time it needs to do an about face, possibly re-engage here. This King Tiger's engine has been destroyed, and there are 3 field guns on their way to engage, and this is a disastrous turn of events. Completely unsupported, no chance of repairs. They're all the way across the map. He is taking sustained anti-tank fire from 3 AT weapons, but he needs to screen away this infantry. King Tiger is brought to a little bit above half. The Soviet combat engineers are trying to give vision over here, but they're going to get cleared out very soon. There they go. He no longer has vision. The screening infantry here now trying to clear out the field guns. One's already been taken down. Sturm Pioneers have arrived to support. Vet 5 Obersoldaten helping in the engagement. There they go. They get wiped by the IS-2. Incendiary artillery strike coming down on what infantry remains, and any chance of repairs is now completely gone. King Tiger, with its destroyed engine, is trying to round this corner. Fortunately, 2 of the 3 field guns have been completely cleared out. This one has almost no health remaining. The Soviet player needs to capitalize on this, but he has very few resources with which to do so. He's got some conscripts moving up to recrew these AT guns. He needs to round that corner and seal the deal before those Vet 5 Sturm Pioneers can get that thing repaired, and they're going to be able to do so quite quickly. So the pressure is on the Soviet player to capitalize on this huge opportunity. If he can kill that King Tiger, he will have secured himself a huge economic lead over his opponent. Ooh. Trying to give vision and screen with those conscripts didn't work out too well right there. He's really struggling to get this King Tiger cleared out. More screening oversold on arriving. The IS-2 is the only tool he has at his disposal to clear those. He needs to get these lucky hits. That was terrible. That was a complete miss. One field gun gets cleared. This one soon to follow. Even the Folks Grenadiers are likely to clear it at this point. And the repairs are so quick. Look at that repair speed. Meanwhile, the IS-2 has received none, and that King Tiger is definitely going to be just fine. Soviet player couldn't quite seal the deal. Too much screening infantry, unfortunately, and it looks like he will not be able to capitalize on the destroyed engine from that mine, which was a beautiful mine, but the Lower Command of West player needs to be mindful of mines by getting a minesweeper. He needs a minesweeper to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Upgrade complete.
Tiger is going to re-engage the IS-2. The IS-2 is vet 2. Oh no, it got stuck on a tree! What is it doing? Oh my god, King Tiger just missed its shot. Conscripts hoorah up to the field gun to recrew it, trying to circle around. They don't even have AT grenades researched, so no chance of damaging its engine that way. The field gun gets one shot off before getting destroyed, inflicting minor damage. The IS-2, however, is successfully protected and will be able to get back to safety for some hasty repairs. It's still very low. We should probably continue to pull that back. One nasty shot from the King Tiger could be devastating on all of his combat engineers. And they will get pulled back to safety. Meanwhile, harassment over here by these conscripts on the munitions. Always good. They continue to need munitions. The Oberkommando West has shut down munitions completely for quite a long time as he was getting that King Tiger. He's since switched back to munitions transfer so that he can throw grenades and use other Obersoldaten abilities. Not all that close to having zeroing artillery again. Sebuj will have access to the incendiary artillery barrage and of course more mines, which he will need to hinder the King Tiger's mobility, which is his best defense against it. He also now has the second IS-2. Will he be able to utilize that to either assault this position or secure a kill on that King Tiger? We're right back in the same position we were in 20 minutes ago. 2 IS-2s versus 1 King Tiger. It's going to come down to who can utilize their units better, take out the opponent's tanks or defensive positions, and get those victory points down. Still 270 to 138. They keep bouncing back and forth. Neither player seems to be able to maintain control of all 3 points at the same time and get your opponent triple cap to seal the game, which is how you end up in a slugfest like this. 48 minutes in, still no idea who's going to win this. Anybody's game, easily.
This is it.
King Tiger engaging in the center. Big force of Soviet stuff making its way across the right side. Fresh IS-2 making its way across as well. Conscript's going to recruit some of these dropped field guns. Needs to get the victory point back under his control as well. He also needs to keep in mind that there is a Vet 5 Pack 43 over here protecting. If he gets even a little closer, he's going to take a huge burst of damage. Nice usage of his field guns backing his Zis. That King Tiger definitely cannot make a frontal assault into that and will be forced to disengage once again. But as long as that Vet 5 squad of Stern Pioneers lives, the repairs on that are going to be so quick. He really needs to prioritize wiping that. If he could wipe that Stern Pioneer squad, that would be a huge blow to his opponent, who's constantly bleeding manpower, trying to reinforce what few infantry he does have. Certainly not expensive, or certainly not cheap. It is expensive. Obersoldaten cost 50 per guy, and he just bought himself a fresh squad. His manpower definitely not looking great. If he were to lose that Stern Pioneer squad, his repairs would be hugely slowed, and he'd have to spend another 320 just to replace them. Taking out Stern Pioneers should always be a very high priority against Oberkommando West, especially when trying to deal with their heavy tanks. We do have a Vet 5 Pack 43 over here too, which he still hasn't decrewed. Hasn't been decrewed for the entire game, and he's got the tool he needs to do it. Incendiary artillery will clear that out and open him up to make a good assault here on this Oberkommando West defensive position. He's also applying some pressure over here on the headquarters. It looks like he may try and destroy it entirely, which will block the production of further Volksgrenadiers, which is, of course, also useful. Not as useful as destroying the Schwer Panzer headquarters, but it will certainly be a problem. King Tiger's been fully repaired, makes its way to the front lines again. Field guns and IS-2s engaging it. Looks like he's getting a little brave here. I don't know if this is a great idea. There's a lot of anti-tank over here. It is Vet 2, and we'll be able to survive a pretty decent amount of hits. The fresh IS-2 is moving up to try and tank some of these shots as well. Conscripts making their way forward. Still don't have AT grenades. Those Obersoldaten are in a lot of danger. They're trying to flank and take out the field guns here. They brought down to only one man. That's his Vet 3 squad. He will retreat it just in time, fortunately. Oh no, don't get too close. That Pack 43 is just waiting for one of those IS-2s to get a little too close here. King Tiger trying to bait them in, but they're not taking the bait. Lots of reinforcement happening back here at the Oberkommando West base, and the fight for the center victory point continues to be very careful, I guess is the best word to describe it. Neither one of these players willing to make a commitment that's going to lose them their heavy tanks. Soviet players already lost 2 IS-2s this game. Oberkommando West has already lost 1 King Tiger, so they need to be very careful. They both know that that's not a mistake they can afford to make a second time, because their fuel just can't support it. Neither one of them anywhere near another heavy tank yet, and it's going to be quite a few minutes before either one of them can. Especially with munitions transfer active, it does mean he will have access. Oh, what was that? What was that? That was a huge lottery win, and that was on this garbage mortar that hasn't done anything the entire game and just randomly wiped a full Obersoldaten squad. Wow. That was amazing. At least it wasn't the Vet 3 squad, but that has gotta be painful. That was 400 manpower just evaporated in the blink of an eye, just randomly, just poof. Wasn't even a heavy mortar. Uh-oh, here comes the zeroing artillery. This is going to be a problem. The King Tiger's going to give vision. All he has to do is sit here, and then it's going to start blasting away at all of these Soviet forces. First target is this Panzerschreck squad, who will be forced to retreat. Not sure that's going to get away. No, it does not get away. Continues to give vision with the King Tiger, but it's falling dangerously low. He doesn't want to pull it out of the engagement because he needs to give vision. Artillery is starting to fall so fast. There goes a field gun. But the King Tiger has disengaged, and the remaining Soviet forces will get outside of the blast radius. And both IS-2s are still alive. Oh no, what happened? What happened here? The mortar! The mortar just killed the Vet 5 Sturm Pioneers! Oh no, this mortar is changing the game single-handedly. All he apparently had to do was move it from there to there, and it is winning this game. It is absolutely winning this game for the Soviet player. It is doing what the IS-2s could not, taking out full squads of infantry, while the Oberkommando West player just isn't ready for it, and he now has to spend 320 manpower just to get repairs. What a huge hit by that mortar, again. Wow. Combat engineers making their way towards the IS-2, going to get that repaired. Meanwhile, repairs on the King Tiger are going to move at a snail's pace. At least he has repairs of some... What was that? I think his infantry were like stuck or something. He had to grenade himself. That was weird. But okay. Repairs very slow. Repairs very slow on the King Tiger. Repairs are actually going to be pretty quick here on the Soviet tanks. It's got a lot of combat engineers. They're cheap. Sturm Pioneers are not. In fact, Sebuj is now floating 700 manpower. I believe he was pop-capped before the previous engagement. Now he's at 77. He will be able to supplement his forces with more combat engineers, maybe some shock troops. He's going to be floating quite a bit of manpower if he chooses to go straight for the IS-2. That being said, he's probably going to have to spend a decent amount just reinforcing his losses. There's another wipe! Another lucky squad wipe! That time it was not the mortar, that time it was definitely the IS-2. IS-2 finally gets a lucky wipe, and wow, it has been doing great this game. It's already up to 50 kills. 50! Which just goes to show how long this game has been. This one only has 6. It hasn't been on the field for nearly as long. Combat engineers here are going to make their way to try and grab the central victory point. That IS-2 is actually going to be at 3 quite soon. I think the Oberkommando West's luck has just run out. He got away from a lot of engagements earlier in this game with just a sliver of health, but that's not happening for him anymore. The squad wipes are happening. They're happening, and they are not something that he can handle or afford. Rapidly running completely out of resources here. Ooh! I mean, that's good, but that just isn't nearly as big of a deal. Sebuj has a little extra manpower in the bank. He can make combat engineers. That's not the end of the world. And he also just purchased himself a 3rd IS-2. Oberkommando West is going to be outproduced here soon, and I think the fact that he left munitions transfer on for so long is going to really slow down his next King Tiger, which I think is his intention to get another King Tiger. Don't let that die! Sturm Pioneers make it away by a hair. They're going to be extremely expensive to reinforce. King Tiger engaging 2 IS-2s here. Probably won't be able to pull ahead in this engagement, although it is Vet 3. Once it's Vet 3, it's definitely very scary. Just bounced a shot off the rear armor from an IS-2, I think. Actually, that... I don't know if that's... Yeah, I guess that's not the rear armor. That's the front armor, technically. Since there is no side armor. Vet 3 continues to engage here. A Vet 3 IS-2 shooting at it from the side is definitely bringing its health dangerously low. It needs to pull back to safety. The Vet 5 Pack 43 will screen that IS-2 from chasing, I think. Although if he chooses to dive with that IS-2, this thing could go down. Fortunately, that shot did bounce. Doesn't look like he plans to chase. Crew shocked. But he coasts to safety. Repairs continuing here. Again, repairs are not what they once were. Sturm Pioneers and Mechanized Regiment Headquarters will be able to do quite a bit, but not as much as Vet 5 Sturm Pioneers. The Vet 3 bonus, they're definitely faster. He never actually did get a support package on that squad. He could get that on this squad to try and speed things up, and it'll still be pretty quick. This will get repaired to full soon enough. Oh no. I think that was his last squad of infantry. He now has nothing but Sturm Pioneers. Sturm Pioneers, King Tiger, and Pack 43. Soviet player, really, all he needs to do now is just drive in and just drive into the base and kill everything. He's got 3 heavy tanks. There's absolutely nothing that can stop him as long as he doesn't drive in this way. All he has to do is just take a different path, drive straight in, clear out the Pack 43, clear out the King Tiger, and that's going to be the game. I don't think there's going to be anything that the Oberkommando West can do here. He's starting to float a little bit of manpower. I almost think he's going to go for a 2nd King Tiger. Once that arrives, will be a little bit more difficult. But the Soviet player is just so ahead in every respect. Ahead in economy, ahead in victory points. I don't know. It's going to take a miracle to turn this around. He doesn't even have the munitions for zeroing artillery. Zeroing artillery could definitely be a mechanism by which he could receive that miracle, but that's not happening anytime soon. He's clearly got fuel transfer on right now. Ooh, he just got himself a Sturm Tiger. Interesting choice. Sturm Tiger could definitely be a mechanism by which to receive a miracle as well. Maybe if those IS-2s get a little too close to each other or something, it'll still take some pretty serious mistakes on the Soviet player's part, though, to turn this around, I think. This King Tiger can't even seem to take on a IS-2 now that it's Vet 3. Although the King Tiger is Vet 4. A Vet 4 King Tiger. You don't see one of those every day. It definitely takes an hour-long game for one of those to make it to the field. Uh-oh, crew shocked. Needs to disengage and get repaired. Again, really feeling the pain of losing those vetted Sturm Pioneers. Curious to see what this Sturm Tiger has to bring to the table. I don't know what it's going to be able to do, though. 57 points remain. Soviet player should definitely try and get his opponent triple capped and just seal the deal. He doesn't want to give his opponent a chance to receive a miracle. Doesn't want to give his opponent a chance to come back from an impossible situation. And the longer the game lasts, the more possible that becomes. If he could just get his opponent triple capped, get those victory points down, the game would end. He'd be good to go, but he's applying just no pressure over here because he's afraid of the Pack 43, which is actually rotated to face this direction now, interestingly enough.
Consolidate our forces. We are down to 50 points.
But again, all he has to do is just drive, like take a wide path way around here, bring Minesweeper support to make sure he doesn't get engine damage, and just take an approach that Pack 43 is not ready for, decrew it, and then assault from another direction, take out the King Tiger. A well-executed push could definitely seal the game. He doesn't need to remain in this slugfest any longer if he doesn't want to. Sturm Tiger has hit the field. Let's see if it can do what the King Tiger alone could not. Although it's, I don't know where it's going. It's a little weird. I think he's actually going to try and flank this IS-2 with that Sturm Tiger. Or not. I don't know. King Tiger is Vet 4, but that's not enough to protect. It's taking heavy damage. Sturm Tiger moving up to try and take a shot from behind these bushes, I think. The King Tiger needs to be careful, though. Sturm Tiger has revealed itself. Sturm Pioneers take heavy damage on their approach. Sturm Tiger fires, damages the engine of the IS-2, bringing it dangerously low. I don't think that King Tiger can afford to engage. What is it doing? Whoa! That was terrifying. That could have been a game-ending shot right there. That being said, he has to take risks. If he never destroys this IS-2, he's not going to be able to win this game. He needs to get the victory points under control. There's only 25 now remaining. He's going to get one more chance at a push, and then that's going to be it. 35 seconds till this can fire again. Probably a similar amount of time before that gets fully repaired. Smoke going... Nice usage of smoke! Smoke going down on the victory point to cover for these conscripts while he attempts to triple cap. Again, one of the many tactics he could have utilized to get this victory point under his control much earlier to end this game. Either way, that's definitely going to seal it. The Oberkommando West has no way to prevent this. No response. Nothing he can do. He's definitely out of time. 18 points remaining. That's definitely going to seal this game. It was a slow battle of attrition. Over an hour-long slugfest, and we had some pretty intense tank battles here as well. Some memorable moments. Definitely a solid game. Well played by both players. And just to put the nail in the coffin, he will decrew the Vet 5 Pack 43. A fitting end. A fitting end. And there you have it. Playback over. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to send me replays of your own. Happy to do a cast for you. Allies win.